What it do, DC fam? I'm back again with another quick Wizards take on the NBA trade deadline. I'm trying to tell you guys on my last video that y'all need to stop thinking Tommy Shepherd is Ernie Grunfeld. Tommy is direct proof that Ernie never listened to any of the dudes in the Wizards front office when he was making the stupid, foolish decisions he was making that sent our franchise back years until Tommy came around. Basically, he's just saved us. This last two off seasons, Tommy basically has made decisions that saved Wizards about 5-7 years of being shitty just to get good. With the moves he's made the last two off season, getting rid of Beal's contract, Wall's contract, which I never thought was possible, to be honest with you, and then to get Westbrook, and then the season we had with Westbrook, to start out so horrible and finish out so strong, and then to parlay that to trading Westbrook to the Lakers for the Kuzma, KCP, and Hero, and that first round pick who ended up becoming basically Aaron Holiday, because we ended up trading it to Indiana, and they gave us a 31st pick for Holiday. But I'm trying to tell you guys, those two offseason moves, last year and this offseason, Tommy has basically saved the Wizards about 5 years of being petrified, of being trash. You non-basketball motherfucker, I'm trying to tell you guys, Wizards fans are knowledgeable as probably most of them, most NBA fans. Most NBA fans are like bandwagons. That's why I don't follow NBA Twitter. It's full of bandwagon dudes that just got hip to NBA basketball. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, when the Wizards traded Westbrook, immediately I was like, this nigga Tommy is up to something. And then rumors start coming out that Dinwiddie was interested in the Wizards. It took a while. I knew he was going to come to fruition. I knew the Wizards was going to get him, because once a player come out openly and admitted that he actually want to be a place, it looks pretty shitty when that team refused to make it happen. It looks look really bad on the Brooklyn Nets GM, Sean Marks, who basically many players like because of doing stuff like that, being willing to let guys go when it's time for them to, when they want it out. So, but when you start holding guys hostage, that would be the worst thing that could have happened to the Nets, because if they don't win next year, many free agents won't come there knowing that yes, he will hold them hostage. So that was a smart thing the Nets did. I knew that the trade was going to come along. Now, with all the teams getting involved, it got a little complicated. It took a little time, but the Wizards made it happen. Spencer Dinwiddie is our starting point guard. To me, he's a better option than Westbrook was. Yeah, Westbrook is the star. He will get the national TV media talking nonsense about the Wizards talking. But I guarantee you, Dinwiddie's going to go about his business with no limelight, no national love. But the Wizards going to get way more W's. We're going to be way harder to beat, way harder to game plan for now, because we have a guy who can get in the paint and not just go for the highlight pass. Westbrook always try to go for the highlight pass. Dinwiddie will go for the right pass. That's what we needed on the Wizards. A player that knows how to play the right way. If we would have had Drew Holiday on that Wizards team last year, that would have been a top 3 team in the East. That's how much a point guard that understands time to shoot and time to pass matters in this league. And a guy who can get in the paint whenever he wants. People forget Dinwiddie is top 10 in the league, ranked 9th the last time he was healthy, which is 2019 and 2020. That full season was healthy. He was 9th in the NBA in drives, in getting to the paint efficiency. Like, meaning that whenever he come down, whenever he come down, he brought the ball down the court, the chance of him getting in the paint, he's top 10 in the NBA. It's hard to get in the paint in the league. It's hard. It takes crafty quickness. Some guys do it with quickness. Some guys do it with craftiness. But he has both of those. And coming off ACL injuries, I feel like a lot of teams backed up because of that. But the Wizards did the right thing. Sometimes you got to gamble to get, because the Wizards wanted Dinwiddie coming out of college at Colorado. But, of course, the Nets took him like literally a pick before we did. And since then, we've been chasing this nigga career, and he's been busting our asses too. He's had some great games against the Wizards, where he annoyed me because he be talking trash. But now he's on Beal's team, and I love that about the dude. And the fact that he really wanted to be in DC, I love that too. Like, you don't understand, those things matter, man. But anyways, the reason why I really want to make this video is just to respond to some of the negativity I'm seeing online. People still talking about Bradley Beal. Like, I'm trying to tell you guys don't understand Beal. Beal was not given as like a spoon when he was growing up. He wasn't like a McDonald's All-American from freshman year in high school. No. Nobody knew Beal until his junior year, and he was barely known until maybe later on his senior year when he really blew up in high school. When he blew up in high school that senior year, mainly through AAU, that's when people know Beal, and that's when he became a top recruit in the country. So the nigga was never the chosen one. He was never the one everybody thought was going to be a legit NBA star. Beal grind. That's what you niggas don't understand. That's why John Wall loved DC. Those guys don't care about the limelight. They were never given a handed easy pass. These niggas had to grind to even get out of high school. They had to grind to get to college, to get folks to look at them. They had to grind even in college to get drafted in the first round. So y'all niggas don't understand. Even Beal earlier years, there were people even questioning whether or not he would ever be good. People were calling Beal a bust earlier in his years because he was always hurt. Beal don't forget those things. We just stuck with them. We just stuck him through all those years when he was injured all the time when the Wizards trying to compete. The Wizards could have easily traded this young nigga to a sorry-ass team, and no one would have heard about Beal because he would have never developed the same. Like, niggas don't understand. Like, it's the atmosphere in D.C. that allowed Beal to develop the way he's developed. He had a fast-first point guard in Wall who wasn't trying to take shots from him. And then Wall got hurt. The Wizards gave the ball to Beal. And then he learned how to be the number one guy on the team. And now he's a legit superstar now. Because he can score and share the ball. He a legit superstar. But he needs help. He needs help. Most superstars nowadays needs help because the NBA is becoming too good. There's too many good players around the league now. You need depth and you need all the stars around you to win. And the Wizards went out and got, they might not have the stars around Beal, but man, we have probably better depth than probably, in the East, we top 3 in depth. I don't see 3 teams that have better depth than we do in the East. And in the West, I don't even see more than 2 teams that have better depth than us. So basically, we have a top 5 NBA depth right now. In terms of 1 to 13, because we only got, I think, 13 or 14 guys. We just had Paul Raul Neto back, which is a great signing. Neto really showed out last year, especially when we went out run late. That 17-2 run we had to go back in the playoff race. Neto was balling out of the bench. And even some games he started, he was balling. So the Wizards need him, man. I love his hustle. I love he plays hard on defense. We're going to need guys like that if we're going to really represent, do some damage next year. And I told you guys already, I like Wes Senior. He's going to be an outstanding coach for Beal. He's going to absolutely open Beal's game up. He's going to open Beal potential. Like, Beal's already there, but his ceiling is like 2 more notches he can get to. I mean, like, he can be a better passer. Beal can be a better defender. He can take more pride on the defensive side. Those are things that I expect a younger coach to motivate Beal to get better at. I expect the Wizards to be absolutely a top 5 team in the East next year, and one of those teams that many teams don't want to see in the first round, because we have shooters and we have vets, a mixture of vet and young, hungry guys who want to make a name for themselves. Rui and Danny are hungry, all right? These guys want to make a name for themselves. Garnett Gafford, I think, is in a contract year. He's hungry. Like, those are the type of players you want to surround established players around, because then when those established players are pushing, those guys ain't going to back off. They're going to push back because they know, like, bro, I got to do something, man. I can't get pushed to the back. So people don't realize the Wizards' depth is outstanding. It's going to create great competition. If this guy's still healthy, this is a top 5 team in the East. And if they're still healthy, they're at least a second-round team in the Eastern Conference playoffs next year. At least a second-round team. Now, there's a lot that can happen for them to go farther, because I can see them literally packaging some of this asset for a 3rd star around Beal and Dinwiddie. Which, I have a couple of guys in mind, but I'm going to make another video about that. The guys that I want the Wizards, another star that I want the Wizards to trade. Guys that will go perfectly with Beal and Dinwiddie on the Wizards team, and with the young core we got. As long as we don't trade Rui, we don't trade Danny, we don't trade Thomas Bryant and Gafford and Kisper, the pick we just had this year, I don't give a fuck what it traded. You trade anybody and get a 3rd star in here with Dinwiddie and Beal. Man, the Wizards will be a hard team to beat. Because people don't realize is Rui got better a lot last year on defense, and Danny actually was graded as an average defender. And the way Danny started in the year last year, people forget he was messing up a lot. He couldn't move his feet. He's used to reaching in all the time in Europe. Here you got to move your feet at least early so the refs don't call those ticky-tack fouls, which they always do on young guys. So he needs to learn how to move his feet. He did that later on in the year. He was really getting better. That's why that injury really set Danny back a few developmental months, because I think he would have been way ahead in that playoffs. I did play that playoffs. Danny would have been way ahead now, they coming to this year, than he would be. But I think the injury set him back, and now he has to miss the whole summer camp, which I don't mind at all. He needs to get healthy, because I really believe that kid has a chance to unlock the Wizards. There are 2 players has a chance to take the Wizards from a top 5 team to maybe one of the Eastern Conference contenders. That's Rui Hachimura and what's my name? And it's Rui Hachimura and Danny. Those 2 kids, if they click, if the Wizards can boom with those 2 picks, this team is going to be one of the scariest teams to play in the entire NBA. Because that mixture of youth, hungry youth, and vets that are trying to prove something, including Beal. If Beal want to leave, he still has to prove he's still a legit superstar, so teams can really come after him next year. But if he does want to stay in Washington, he's going to prove to people why he can win in DC, why he doesn't need that super team crap that everybody talking about. So I expect Beal to come out motivated this year. I expect the Wizards to be motivated this year because they have a younger coach that's going to be motivated to prove, because his dad was a legend in DC. So I'm trying to tell you guys, everything is coming together. For the first time as a Wizards fan, I've never been this excited, because for the first time, I feel confident in our front office, I feel confident in our coach, and I feel confidence in the roster we have going to a season. That's the greatest feeling I've ever fucking had, guys, as a Wizards fan. I've been following this team for about 15 years. They've never been this consistent all 3 phases, from the front office to the coach to the roster. It's boom, boom, boom. This team is set up for great success, with or without Beal. Now, of course, I pray it's with Beal. But if Beal has maybe like middle of the season and Beal requests a trade, we have the asset to where we can trade Beal to where I don't see us having much of a drop-off, if any at all. Especially if Beal don't take the next step that I expect him to take as a passer, as a playmaker, and as a defender. So if he take those steps, then yeah, it's gonna be hard for us to be just as good without Beal. But if Beal doesn't take those steps, he will go back to those just want to score points every time he come down court. Beal, yeah, those guys, he can replace those guys. We gotta realize offense can be replaced, because you might not have a guy who's gonna score just as Beal, but he's gonna keep teams from scoring the points Beal was giving up so easily on the other side. That basically take away the pain of losing him. So a guy like Beal, if at some point Wizards he wanted to trade out, I can see Wizards giving him up and bringing a young star from whatever team or a couple of first-round picks that Wizards can flip to possibly being immediately good next year. That's how much of an immediate impact Tommy has brought to the Wizards with this last 2 offseasons. Like, he's basically made this a team that Beal can't hold hostage anymore. Beal cannot hold us hostage anymore with the trades we made the last 2 offseasons. If Beal want to go, we at a position where we won't have to Beal don't have to put a gun in our head to keep him. No, we won't have to put a gun in Bill's head to keep him. We will literally let him go and get the assets back to where we can be good immediately the following year. We don't have to be bad a couple of years. No, with the way the moves Tommy has made, people don't understand. You're going to need to trust Tommy, man. You'll need to trust Wizards fans. You'll need to trust Tommy. You have to trust Tommy, man. This guy was around Ernie. He watched Ernie do fuck shit for years, and he was quiet and humble, even though he knew he could have did better. Do you know how much of a strong-minded individual you got to be around people fuck shit when you know you can do better than that person who was calling the shots? But you don't say anything. You just wait for your turn, and now it's his time. Ernie's gonna make sure. Tommy, that's the flag. Fuck Ernie. Tommy's gonna make sure he undo all that fuck shit Ernie did for decades on, which is probably 90% of it he's already done in 2 offseasons. Now I expect him with a little bit more time. Now he could easily pull off another trade before the season starts, but I think by mid-season the Wizards gonna make a bigger move that's really gonna take the Wizards to the next step if they're not already there early in the year. Because this roster right now, it's a hard roster to compete against. To me, they're very similar like the Hawks, meaning that there's only one superstar, but a bunch of really good players, really good players around him. That's what the Wizards remind me of. They remind me of the Atlanta Hawks of last season, with Trae Young being the one superstar and a bunch of really deadly, hungry guys around him. Collins and them, Bogdanovich and them, the other guy. Like, those guys, that's literally what the Wizards are building right now. They're building, by the Bills, the one superstar who can really score at an elite level, but he needs to step up his playmaking and defensive intensity better. Now, if that improves with Dinwiddie doing what he does in the pick and roll and getting the paint with the shooters we have, the marksmen we have now, with Kuz and Rui and Thomas Bryant, who can shoot, and Gafford controlling the paint, who basically changed our defense from dead last offseason. So that after we traded for him, Wizards basically became a middle-of-the-road defensive team, a top 13 NBA defense from the time that Gafford put on the Wizards jersey to the end of the season. That's freaking amazing. You know how hard it is to make that much improvement midway in the season, especially being as bad as we were. That kid did all that. He single-handedly changed the entire Wizards trajectory last season. And he's back this year, hungrier, bigger, and on contract here. I expect Gafford to take the next step. The Wizards just got to stay healthy, guys. They got to stay healthy. They got to stay together. And Beal got to ignore the national media bullshit, which I know is easy for Beal. Beal grew up tough. He was really giving tough love. He grew up around brothers. Not many easy way out. He had to fight to get to win anything. He had to fight. He had to compete for everything. That's what happened when you go up around brothers. You compete with everything. That makes you tougher. It makes you harder. It makes you more headstrong in your ways. So I expect the Wizards to build around Beal, continue to build around Beal. And if Beal at one point want to hop out, the Wizards would trade him with no way. We're not holding him hostage. He's not holding us hostage anymore because we have the assets now to where we can be good even if we trade Beal. It takes a smart basketball person to understand that. The Wizards are so set, guys. We have better depth than we ever had. This team is deeper than any Wizards team has ever fucking had. Don't let nobody tell you about the 2006 Wizards team that had fucking, what's the name, Thornton coming off the bench as a shooting guard. Man, that team was doo, man, with Nicholson and them. Yeah, man, you better get the fuck out of here. This year's team will be the deepest Wizards team they've ever had, going back to the 70s with Wes Senior and those boys. This team is loaded, guys. They're going to be so hard to compete against. They're going to be so hard to beat, especially if Beal can take the next step. This team is going to be scary, guys. Real basketball minds understand what the Wizards have done. It's this idiots, this Twitter fingers, young niggas nowadays, basically middle schoolers, these dudes that don't even know their balls work the right way. Like, this nigga don't even know how to put their pants on the right way. Over here tweeting nonsense, making it look like DC fans don't fuck with Beal. Bro, we love the dude. We love his loyalty. We respect his loyalty. And then Tommy went out and make sure Beal don't hold us hostage, just in case he's playing us. That's what smart GMs do. You don't put yourself in your players' mercy, which a lot of NBA teams are doing that, and they're feeling sorry for in the end when those players leave them. Look at the Spurs. The Spurs just lost Patty Mills and DeRozan. Them niggas will be trash next year. Completely trash next year. Trash. You don't never let players give all the leverage to the players. They're going to leave you dry. So the Wizards have made sure Beal will not leave us dry. If Beal want to stay, we will sign him easily now because every contract we have is going to be off the book after next year. Besides Rui, Danny, and Cuthbert, nobody else will be on the books after next season. Not this coming season, after the following season, everybody will be off the books. The Wizards can go after any motherfucker they want. Do you know how much of a great feeling that is? They can afford Beal anything he wants. Beal is nowhere stupid to leave 70, 80 million on the table. He's not stupid to do that. What people don't realize is that Beal is not one of those fucking athletes, NBA dudes, that's going to make 100 million off the court. Those are the only guys I've seen leaving money like that to go and chase championship at Beal's age. Beal is 28. AD was 20 whatever when he left to go to the Lakers. But AD is literally worth about 100 million off the court. He can't make up for that money he's losing on the court. Beal will never make up that kind of money. That's what a lot of y'all not thinking about. A lot of the guys making this jumping are guys who already made a lot of money off the court with deals, endorsements, and all that shit. Beal has never been the type of dude that bring in that kind of money. So he ain't all of a sudden going to drop the bag just to go chase a ring that may come or may not come. We've all seen many guys ring chase that it didn't work out for. Why would Beal leave 70 million on the table just to go play with some other idiots when he's only 28? Beal can sign his extension, stay 2 years at 30. Then if the Wizards are not doing something, he can leave. At that point, he's 70 million richer. A lot of you are not thinking like that. Beal is not an idiot. It's a 70 million decision. You're trying to make him go to the Lakers, make him go to New York, because it's the easier choice. Because most of you suckers have never fight through anything difficult. The minute stakes get hard, you run. Beal has never been like that. Beal wanted like that, he would have been axed out when Wall was hurt, when it was really bad. He would really want it out, and Wizards would have sent him out. Who would have sent him out just to get his contract off the books? That's how bad Wall contract was. So y'all don't understand. Beal ain't going nowhere. As long as the Wizards can stay healthy and Beal can take the next step, I expect the Wizards to be competing for championship in DC. A lot of y'all might laugh at that because the Wizards have never been competing for championship. And I understand that because it sounds comical. But I'm trying to tell you guys, the moves we made this offseason. Now, if we keep Harrell, and we need to keep Harrell, because that's the type of dog you need off the bench that's going to come in and push guys around as a power forward. And he can do a little bit of everything, too. He can pass a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He can play a little. He's a much better defender than people give him credit for, Harrell. So I love his hustle, his heart. That's the type of stuff that come off the bench. Boy, it's going to go good with Raul Neto coming in as a backup point. So the Wizards got a lot of good depth. Guys, if they stay healthy, it's going to be a good team. But again, in Tommy Shepherd, we trust. And as for all you non-Wizards fans out there, you need to stay up by the Bills hip, bro. This man can't even like a picture on Twitter without 100,000 motherfuckers, lame-ass middle schoolers coming out. Sometimes even grown, that's the worst part. The worst part is seeing grown motherfuckers that have babies in their hands in their profile picture telling Bill what to do. Like, you niggas, if you only raise your kids that when they get old one day, when they about to make $70 million decision to listen to people on social media, if your niggas raising your kids like that, then I can see why this country is going the shithole it's heading to. America is heading to a shithole because there's a lot of dumb idiocy going on here. We're getting dumber as a nation, guys. We're getting more stupid. We're getting more ignorant as a nation. We're not getting smarter. It's just hot takes. Everybody want a hot takes. Everybody want to sound cool. Everybody want to sound like they know basketball. Everybody want to sound like they know what they're saying. But the truth is, a lot of you niggas on social media are fucking idiots. That's why I'm not even on Twitter anymore. A lot of you are fucking pure idiots. Believe me, if I'm on Twitter, I'll get blocked the minute I sign in. Because I will go at so many of you idiots. So many. Because you don't know basketball. Yeah, you're over here calling a man out for being loyal to a team who drafted him, that stuck with him when his first 3 years in the league, he was injury prone as injury prone can get. The Wizards were Ian Beal's contract in those 3 years, and they still re-signed him. Look at Malik Monk. Malik Monk is going through the same situation Bill went through in the Wizards. Charlie just traded him. They just traded him to LA because he struggled earlier in his year. Malik Monk numbers and Bill numbers early, they're very similar. Go look at Bill's first 3 years and Malik Monk current career in the NBA. Very fucking similar. The difference, the Wizards stuck with fucking Bill. They just ship him to a contender. Charlie, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of you guys don't understand loyalty. Bill don't understand that. He understand that at the time when Wall was at the top of his game, we just could have shipped him out. When he was injury prone. But they stuck with me, and then they just stuck with him. We just went out and got him help to get him more healthy, how to train better in the offseason. We just hook him up with the better nutrition program, better everything to help Bill. It's those things Bill did consistently that made him stop those injuries, nagging injuries from the past. Y'all don't think about that. Players do. Players understand that if it wasn't for this team, my career won't be where it's at. If it wasn't for this team, I won't be a superstar. And they know that these teams wouldn't even give a fuck about me. Bill understands that. And the way he's raised, shout out to the way he's raised, man. Because Bill understands loyalty. Understand that if you build it the right way, they will come. You don't just hop on a ship the minute shit get hard. But anyways, I really said way too much. I just wanted to make like a 10-minute video. But there was a lot I had to get off my mind. Again, shout out to Tommy Shepherd. Our roster is ridiculous. You go Dinwiddie, Bill, Cole Pope, Rui, or Thomas Bryant or power forward. Regardless of those two, I'll be happy whoever starting those two. I really want Thomas Bryant because I think Thomas Bryant will come in hungry. But if he shows he's not healthy early or he's not showing signs he's back to where he was, Rui can easily jump in there and Thomas Bryant can slowly come in and walk his way into being what he used to be. Because people don't understand, there were a lot of teams that wanted Thomas Bryant this offseason. A lot of teams that wanted Thomas Bryant. Because the Wizards, why? Again, another player who somebody the Lakers threw to the curb and the Wizards made to somebody. Yeah. And now, y'all think Thomas Bryant, if Thomas Bryant, basically the same situation, you think Thomas Bryant would have become a mega super. You don't think teams was trying to come in and talk about Thomas Bryant to leave DC? He ain't never going to win shit. The reason why nobody talking about Thomas Bryant because he hasn't developed yet. Thomas Bryant hasn't had the season Brad's had. But you give Thomas Bryant another 2 years in the Wizards, he's going to produce over 20 points and 10 rebounds in this league. And then what? Wizards he needs to leave DC too. After DC put in the work to on him, to work on him to get him to where he's at. That's what they did with Bill. They work with Beal injuries. They work with his nutrition program in the offseason. They work with his training program in the offseason to get Beal to where he's at. Since Beal hasn't had no nagging injuries, he's been hurt, but he's always come back and play. Like, you niggas don't understand basketball, man. Before you start talking shit, understand how deep this shit is for these players. It ain't just a decision about clout. These niggas don't give a fuck. There's few players in the NBA that actually care about what social media people think. Few players. And those players will never win a damn thing. I don't care how good team you have. If you worry about what niggas say on social media, if you get validation on social media, you will get discredited on social media. If you take validation through social media, you will get hurt through social media. You'll realize one day, I'm not as good as I think I was through social media. The best players they'll go to that site just to laugh, to see what nonsense it is and laugh at it and close it and go back to their personal life. The real niggas that know basketball, we get annoyed at shit texts like some of the texts I see. Because it's like, this is not coming from no knowledge of hoops. Zero knowledge of hoops. Just straight fandom. Just idiocy. Not even like properly aimed fandom. It's just idiocy fandom. Idiocy fandom. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Alright? But again, guys, you go Dinwiddie and you go Gafford and you go Kispert back up at the shooting guard. You got to bring Garrison Matthews back. You go Raul Neto. You go KCP. Nah, I always say KCP. You go Gil. You go fucking bro. The Wizards got a scary ass team. I didn't even name Kuz and Harold. That's a scary ass, deep ass team. That's 12 guys that deserve NBA minutes in this league. 12 guys. When the Wizards have never had more than 5 guys that are really legit NBA players at any time in their roster under Honey Gronfeld after those injuries, aging 0 years. Even those teams, besides the top 3 guys, none of those other guys belong in the NBA. That's why those Wizards team never did anything. Even though Coran Butler, Jamison, and Gilbert Arenas were all-stars. They never did anything because most of the other teammates around them were not NBA quality guys. Wizards, it's been a long time since I look at the Wizards team and be like, 80% of the roster is not NBA quality. It's been a long time. This is the first year where I can say 90% of this roster is NBA quality. 90%. It's guys that belong in the NBA. Not just belong, they deserve to play in the NBA. That's 12 to 13 guys that's going to need minutes to compete, to stay on the floor. That's going to increase the competition so heavily in practice that this niggas ain't going to help but to put on a show during game day. I'm trying to tell you guys, that's the deep thinking. That's the deep thinking about basketball. So the Wizards are there, man. Tommy Shepherd, bro, I have zero worries about losing Beal. Zero. And even if you do, I have zero worries what Tommy's going to do. I trust Tommy that motherfucking much. Okay? And as long as Ted Leonsis can shut the fuck up and stop talking reckless at the worst goddamn time, you goddamn stupid owner. Just stay to your Capitals. We all know you suck your Caps cock. Just keep sucking and shut the fuck up. You about to fuck up a perfect offseason by Tommy with your open fucking diarrhea mouth.